ProBro Car Wash franchises offer unmatched customer experience. 220 cars washed per hour, 500,000 washed every year. New technologies, first mover advantage. Join us for an exclusive podcast on the potential and scalability of express tunnel car washes.
Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about what makes a franchise truly scalable. And during this conversation, we will find out how to take a successful business model and turn it into a platform that can grow across multiple markets. To discuss this question, we have brought together three professionals, each with huge expertise in different aspects of franchising. So let's meet all of them who joined us today. Mr. Evaldas Kinderis, founder and chairman of ProBro. João Noronha Lopes, a global franchise expert with nearly 20 years experience, that's impressive, at McDonald's. He is also an advisor to the ProBro board. And Kristijonas Bakutis, ProBro Express head of business development. He is the person who is leading its international expansion. So welcome everyone and thanks for being here. Before we start talking about ProBro specifically, let's zoom out for a moment and take a glance at the bigger picture. João, you've spent nearly 20 years at McDonald's working with franchise systems all around the world. So I would love to get an understanding from you as to why franchising has become such a powerful model for scaling businesses internationally.
Good morning, and very happy to be here and to talk about franchising. I think there are mainly two reasons. On one hand, you have the franchisor that focus on its brand, on its systems, but then you need to have a local person or a local company that will allow you to go fast. And so what the franchisee will bring to you is first, market knowledge. It will know the customer better than any outsider. Second, you will have access to real estate, and good locations, like in every business, is key to the success. And last but not least, he knows the business environment. So this allows the franchisor to focus on systems, on the brand, and the franchisee to focus on growth.
And these are the main ingredients that make a franchise system successful. Or you could add more.
No, I think there are some points that are really important to have a very successful franchising model. I think the first one, you have to start with the franchisor, the company. So you need to have a company that has strong values, a strong culture, and also that culture is very well shared within the organization. First point. Second point, you have to have a company that have good systems in place. And those systems are going to be around operational systems, IT systems that will allow you to support a remote organization in another country. The third point is that you need to have a good fit between a franchisor and a franchisee. And so it's very important that the franchisor gets to know the franchisee very well. So the recruitment process is very important. You need to understand each other. And also the training process is going to be very important. And the successful franchises are the ones where you have full transparency so that both parties know exactly what they should expect from each other. And so my advice normally is invest in training, invest in recruitment, because it's going to pay off later in your franchise or franchisee relationship. I would say that it's very important also that you have a support structure in the company that is ready to support expansion. Sometimes companies have a very good brand, they have good brands, they have a good product, but the organization is not prepared. Mm-hmm. And so you need to have your organization prepared in terms of HR, in terms of IT, to support the business that is growing outside. It's also important to have proven financials. So you need to have a good track record of having good financial results. If you have it in more than one country, even better, because it will always have to prove the business case. And last but not least, you have to have both franchisor and franchisee long-term thinking. Things will never be easy to start with, but you have to share the same mindset. If business will probably start to pick up slow, you see this in every franchise, but then it will catch up faster later once you have more awareness and once the product is known. So long-term thinking is absolutely key.
Okay, thank you. It's obvious that you're in this so many years. And summarizing all of that you've said, what makes a concept scalable across markets?
Good product, good brand, good systems, good support structure. Pick the right franchisee.
So the 5 key aspects.
I would say that those will be the summary of what can make a very good franchise. And it comes also with a couple of things. First, you need to be. It's not only to have a good product, but you need to be consistent. Mm-hmm. And you also need to be adaptable. Sometimes you may have to adapt to another country without losing what are your core values and what the product stands for.
Yeah, you need to understand that marketing, cultural aspects, and so on. Thank you, Joao. And now from the global perspective, let's focus on what has happened in Lithuania. Joao, you witnessed many franchise concepts globally, and what makes ProBro interesting for you personally?
Well, I remember that the first time I came here, and Evaldas took me to visit some car washes, and I was just appalled. I mean, I was not expecting to see what I saw. So I think ProBro has certain advantages. First, it's beyond a product; it's an experience. And what impressed me the most was that you are giving a different experience to different types of customers. So it's not only about just washing your car. It's the lights, it's the odor, it's the coffee, it's the fact that you can do it on your own or you can have somebody doing it for you. So first point. Second, speed. In today's life, speed is absolutely crucial. And it gives you speed at a pace that I hadn't seen it before. The third point is that it's also built around automation and technology. I was very impressed with the amount of automation that you have and the fact that you can run a car wash without a limited number of people. And when you think about the businesses that are successful today, the ones that make simplification a key point in their development are the ones that are going to succeed. So I like this idea of making life easy and also have an easy operation that is not so much labor intensive. And when I looked at the European perspective, I didn't see anything like this happening in Europe. So the US has considerable penetration of other brands that we have seen, but not in Europe. So you have a first mover advantage here in Europe, which I think is a key differentiator. Second, you have proven success in more than one country. So you are successful in Lithuania, you are successful in Latvia. And I think that helps you, obviously, to build the business case for success. And the other thing that impressed me is also you see different types of car washes. So you have bigger ones, you have smaller ones, and then you can also adapt to the different location, you can adapt to your different target audience, you can adapt to the different countries. So to recap, it's experience, it's innovation, and it's also adaptability in a concept that I think you can easily export to different markets.
So overall, these are the main indications that you think that could become a scalable franchise platform, I mean, ProBro.
Correct.
And from a franchising perspective, what makes the especially express tunnel car wash model particularly suitable for franchising?
I think it's the fact that it's not the car wash model, it's the ProBro car wash model. And what I see when I came and met with Evaldas and the team for the first time are several things that I enjoy very much. One is you have very strong systems. You have invested a lot in technology. Again, you are very concerned about the brand. And I think one of the things that impressed me with Evaldas is that he wants to franchise, but he's the gatekeeper. And he wants to make sure that the standards are there. Yeah. He wants to make sure that the operation is spotless. And this is the secret of expanding. You know, some brands just do franchising just to finance growth. Here, it's different. He's as much concerned about having a very good operation in Poland as having a good operation in Lithuania. So I think that's a key differentiator when you want to grow. And again, the consistency of the product is good. The team is ready to grow. The automation is there. And then you have proven that you can have this concept in different locations to different type of customers. And I think this can build a very successful model.
Yeah, indeed. If you miss such a small detail, then you can ruin that, precise operational model.
Yes, I mean, some people say that, when you talk about the brand, everything communicates about your brand. And sometimes the last 10% are the most difficult ones to achieve. What I see here is that there is a concern about being very professional. There's concern about being very consistent, whether it's the cleanliness, whether it's the speed, whether it's the sustainability part that is very important in today's world. And all of these makes, I think, a very good product that can be exported.
Yes, absolutely agree. Thank you, Joao. Now, I'd like to remind to everyone that we continue our podcast, and today we are talking about building a scalable express tunnel car wash franchise platform in Europe. Now I'd like to ask a few questions to the founder of ProBro, Mr. Evaldas Kinderis. Evaldas, how did ProBro start and what were the early days like?
ProBro started almost 30 years ago. And I remember very well, we started the company together with my brother. That's where the name of ProBro came from, professional brothers. At first, our goal was to create a service that was missing in the market. I wanted to create something I could be proud of, service with high quality and a strong brand. That's where the car wash industry never had before. And question was, how we can move from a small garage type of business to something scalable and more modern. Answer was express tunnels, and we found this solution by understanding our customer habits and using new technologies. In our network, now we wash millions of cars every year, and numbers of customers continue to grow. Our express tunnels can wash more than 200 cars an hour. That is very impressive. And we see a big potential to grow an international brand based on this strong product.
So, and it was the next phase then. Please tell us, at what point did you realize this could become a scalable platform?
It was really everything about product. I always believed that if you build a strong product, everything else will follow. It sounds simple, but it took many years to learn and to build it. When we have right team, right technology, and format what can stand out from traditional car washes, we realized that model can be scalable. One another point, we invest a lot to our locations, how we look and feel, the design, the customer journey, and overall experience are all very important. And we want ProBro to look and feel much better than traditional car washes. And when we combine the strong operations, great product, and recognizable brand, we see what we can scale this brand internationally.
Thank you. And now it's time to dive a bit deeper and talk about scale and proof. But before that, Kristijonas, could you please give us a quick explanation? What is an express tunnel car wash and what is unique about your model?
Okay, morning once again. Nice to be here. So as you've mentioned, we are quite unique from our single slot car washing unit. It's because our express tunnel is using a conveyor belt and it's able to wash several cars simultaneously. The biggest model of ours can wash up to 7 cars at once, covering roughly 220 cars per hour. And actually, this number adds up to a quite impressive number on a yearly basis. We can wash around 550,000 cars. And if you combine the speed, the quality, and the efficiency, and the convenience for your customer with a cost-effective subscription-based package, then you can see that you can really reach very good results within first and second year in a row.
By the way, talking about one of the aspects of the convenience, my wife says that the biggest advantage of visiting your tunnel car wash is that you don't have to get out of your car.
Yeah, it's convenient.
And that is indeed very convenient. Please share, Kristijonas, how big is the network today and what were your results last year?
So currently our network covers 24 locations. Most of them are franchised. Last year, we're very happy to announce it was a record-breaking year for us. Our network washed around 5 million cars on a yearly basis. We had 30% growth, so I assume that's a really huge and good number for us to be proud of, all of us. Naturally, our home market covers the biggest part of it, around 4 million car washes, but nevertheless, we are expanding, and Latvia is showing really good results with around 1 million washes there as well.
And by the way, talking about Latvia, Joao, you already mentioned about how ProBro is moving to another countries, and one of the most interesting stories seems to be Latvia. What has happened there over the past couple of years?
Latvia is a really good example, especially taking into consideration that Latvia is a quite conservative market, but they took our concept easily and in a good way and in a fast pace, I should say. We are running there only a couple of years, but even right now we can see active users is around 80,000, and they're washing themselves around 1 million times on a yearly basis. So that's really good pace for us to be there.
I just can imagine that Latvians, they come, time after time to Lithuania, and then they saw first time the ProBro, they thought, oh, we would like to have the same car wash tunnel in our country, and then this happened. So what does that growth tell you about the scalability of the concept in new markets?
Latvia was a very good test market for us, the validation point, because running ourselves in their home market, it's one, but then you are scaling yourself in a new market and you're testing all your know-how or your operation manuals and etc. It's a very good point to test in a maximum way. So basically, this gives us a very big confidence in terms of that we can do this not only in Latvia, but we can expand ourselves to the western part of Europe, starting most probably from Poland, as we will speak later on. But nevertheless, even right now, we are receiving quite a lot of inquiries from quite impressive markets such as Saudi Arabia, Emirates, and etc. So this gives us really strong confidence in moving forwards there.
We continue our podcast, and today we are talking about building a scalable express tunnel car wash franchise platform in Europe. Now let's turn our attention to why you are now focusing on markets like Poland. So from Latvia, step forward. Kristijonas, we have mentioned it that one of the markets you are focusing on right now is Poland. Why is this market attractive for you?
Okay, the answer is quite easy and obvious. It's because, it's close to us geographically, so it's quite easy for us to move there and to transfer our business cases and find people there.
Big country.
Yeah, big country as well. Big is, I should say, it's at least to say, currently we have around 22 million of cars. And the interesting fact, which is worth mentioning, is that we are washing themselves only. Typical Polish person washes his car only around 10 times on a yearly basis. And from what we can see from our experience using our subscription-based model, we can even triple this number and make them even cleaner, as we are seeing here in our home markets as well.
Sounds really promising.
Yeah, it is promising.
Anyway, what makes our region especially attractive for the express tunnel car wash format?
We did quite excessive researches from our side. We've spoken with quite a lot of locals in Poland in various different regions. We can see that their opinion about us and their experience once they visit us in our home markets in Lithuania or Latvia is quite impressive, and they are willing to see us in Poland as well. But from the very simple point of view, even the climate is very similar to Lithuania. They have all kinds of seasons, and you see when you have a snowy season, then you have a summer. It doesn't matter which season it is, you want your car to be clean. And nobody likes cleaning their cars in the self-service washes with a beautiful closure zone. Everybody wants to sit in the car conveniently and to be washed fast.
You don't have to get from the car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the main convenience.
So that's I should say the main points why people likes us in that particular market.
Thank you, Kristijonas. You've done a great investigation regarding Poland market. All right, and now I'd like to turn to Joao, and I'd like to give you a few questions. Why timing is so important in franchise expansion, and do you have confidence in the Polish market right now?
Yes, I think the first question that I ask myself whenever I advise companies or people look for my support is why are you different?
Yeah.
What do you bring that is new compared to what you have right now? And I think when we look at ProBro and we look at what we have in Europe, we have here a totally different product. And it's not only a hype, it's a lifestyle product. People will always need to wash cars, but they want to do it fast. They want to have a different experience. They want to have choice in terms of how much they pay. And I think, for example, the subscription model is truly unique and innovative and gives you a lot of opportunities. And then again, I think if you have something or a concept that combines all of these things, it's fast, it's easy. You can engage all of the family in something that in other brands is just a commodity, just trying to get things done as soon as possible. You have a different product. Second, and I think as I mentioned, I want to make this point because I was very impressed with it, it's the level of automation and invest in technology. And in the future, the brands that have this in mind also will be the brands that will succeed. And so when I look at all of these characteristics, and I look at where would it make sense for you to grow, and I think we looked at various options. Proximity to Poland makes a lot of sense because you are closer. I mean, supply chain wise, it's an easier market for you. It's a market that is growing in Europe in an extraordinary way. It's one of the powerhouses of growth in Europe right now. So I think it's an obvious next step for you to grow to a market that is close to you, has certain similarities in terms of your customer profile, but has a huge potential in terms of scale. And again, one of the differences is to have the first mover advantage. And I think arriving there before everyone else, I think can be a huge advantage for a brand like ProBro.
And however, there are many franchise systems in Europe, and what makes ProBro different? Just few main aspects from your point of view.
I think I mentioned them before, but I think it's the fact that you have, again, you have a strong brand, and a strong brand that was built from a story that was developed by an entrepreneur. Second, you are very keen on details. And details matter, especially when you want consistency to be part of your DNA. Third, you are making life easy to people. Fourth, you have a very well-established supply chain. Fifth, you have today, and I think timing is also important. You're talking about timing.
Yes.
I see that some brands do not succeed because they expand too early and people are not ready. When I look at the organization, when I look at the people, I think the people are ready today. Ready today to give all of the support that a new franchisee will require in another market. And last but not least, I think that it's very important for you to start with the long-term thinking. And I reinforce this because you have to find a good chemistry between franchisor and franchisee where they both understand that we are in this for the long run. And I worked with some brands that have a long-term relationship. Franchising will always have ups and downs, but if you find the right partnership and if you think long term, if you have a good brand and you have a good franchisee, you can have a very successful business model.
Dear Evaldas, what is your vision for ProBro?
My dream is to make ProBro best car wash in the world, and first step will be in the Europe. If you build great team, great product, the business can scale around it. Why we focused on three things: quality of service, design of our locations, and operational system behind it. And the team is also very important. We build strong team that understand both product and system, and we believe that we together can move forward internationally with this brand.
To explore new markets. Thank you about this. And now, dear Joao, I'd like to ask you, why does founder involvement matter in franchising?
I think it's a very, very important advantage. The founder is the ultimate gatekeeper. He built it from scratch. He will be very concerned about every detail, about quality, about consistency, about the way to execute. So this will help to create alignment and credibility throughout the organization. And on the other hand, the success of a future franchisee is going to be the success also of the founder and the success of a concept that he worked so hard for. So I think it's a very, very important advantage.
This bond between a brand and the founder.
Yeah, and the fact there is this concern about making sure that it's done right.
Yeah.
It's not just about opening and growing, it's about doing it right. And when you have a founder that is involved in the business, you can have that.
Thank you, Joao. And now, Christianas, let's imagine so many future partners, but how to select them? So how do you select your franchise partner?
No, many good ideas were already mentioned as well by Joao and Evaldas, but as Evaldas mentioned previously, this company was created as a family business by himself. This is not a corporate machine. We are working with a little bit different attitude towards our future partners. So I would really love to compare this one as a marriage, where you're looking for your wife or husband. So obviously you're looking for somebody who's willing to be together with you and to cooperate according to both of your rules in a long-term scenario, not on the short-term scenario where you're just building something and then you're launching and you're going out. Obviously, we're looking for somebody with a strong financial credibility, who's able not only to create one object and run away, but who's able as well to expand together in that particular market. The most important part is that we have a promise towards our future master franchisees, that this promise is that we are coming together with him in that particular market, and we are providing full support from our side, not only the operational one, but as well our know-how and our willingness to cooperate in a long-term scenario for the future. So I assume this is the best message for the best.
Evaldas, would you like to add to Christiana's thoughts?
I would like to add that partnership is very important for us. And we're looking for not just for franchisee, but for long-term partner. And we want to be a partner who has ambition to grow with us and to make money together.
And it's now time to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us today, and especially if someone in Poland or another European market is watching this video, give us one reason why they should get in touch with you immediately. Dear guests, please share your key takeaways. Christianas.
Okay, so very shortly, ProBro is a tested, proven working model. If combined together with a right location and long-term partners, correct partners, it is highly scalable as well. Poland currently is really very undeveloped country in this particular category. So there is a very good chance for a correct partner to start on a very early stage in this particular market, building its own empire and start making money together with us, as Evaldas mentioned.
Joao?
The franchisor-franchisee relationship needs to be win-win. And I think there's an important element that I did not mention before, but which is absolutely key, which is trust. trust between the franchisor and the franchisee. And that is built from day one, from the first meeting until the last day of the contract. And for that, it's very important, of course, to have ethics and integrity on the way that you do business. That's ultimately what creates the trust. And trust is halfway for you to be successful as a franchisee.
Absolutely. And Evaldas, your insights.
I also truly believe in our product and team, and we are ready to go to new markets as fast as possible. We're just starting, and great journey is waiting for us.
And thank you once again for watching, and we look forward to meeting you in Poland or somewhere else in the world. So see you soon, and thank you once again for coming. Thank you for interesting conversation we've had today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.